everyone, and welcome back. In our last video, we talked about how American society was really changing at this time. It was expanding westward, and with that expansion came things like the Homestead Act and homesteaders, who were people who wanted to move out west to make a new life for themselves. And that movement really, though, if you remember, has kind of a chain reaction of events. We go from having, this population growth to needing more food. More food means an excess of food. An excess of food means food goes to waste. That means prices drop, which means the farmer, for instance, doesn't make very much money. And it's because of all of those things that people really become, particularly farmers, become frustrated with American society. So they start forming cooperatives like the Grange, where they're going to start to advocate for farmers' rights and for price reduction. And one of those things that they really push for is the addition of gold or silver into the money supply. And that's really going to set up what is known as the Populist Party, which is what we're going to talk about today. And so for today, we're going to talk about the Populist Party and how it really grows out of this movement of the silver movement and the free silver party. And so for today in your notes, you need to list this as you're going to be popular, and it's really a discussion on the Populist Party. So following President James Garfield and Chester A. Arthur, Grover Cleveland was elected in 1884. During Cleveland's first presidency, Congress passed what was known as the Interstate Commerce Act in 1887, and this really regulated the railroad industry primarily. In 1892, during Benjamin Harris's term as president, the political activism of farmers and those free silver people, that movement, led to the formation of the Populist Party, a political faction with a platform of federal regulation, free silver, and workers' rights. Eventually, in 1892 presidential election, the Populist Party will run somebody by the name of James B. Weaver, but Grover Cleveland, the guy in the picture here, decided to run again in a non-consecutive term. So he had been president, he took 4 years off, he comes back, and he runs and wins. But even though he wins, another economic crisis called the Panic of 1893 will come along, and it really strengthens the populist cause. Now, that populist cause is going to be championed by this guy. In 1896, an anti-silver candidate named William McKinley ran on the Republican presidential ticket. William Jennings Bryan, who's pictured a free silver politician, ran on the Democratic ticket and was endorsed by the Populist Party. Now, McKinley ends up winning in 1896 and becomes president. And as a result, the Populist Party really falls apart. Their movement can't sustain that hit. Bryant becomes a national hero, and we'll talk about him for countless other videos in the future. But really remember that this populist movement comes out of this free silver idea that, the workers of the world are getting an unfair shake in life, and so this populist uprising is going to kind of bring democracy to all. And so that's it. That's the main parts you need to have in your notes for today. I know that's pretty short. Big people we need to make sure we remember, in particular, is William Jennings Bryan. I know I've already touched on him before in previous videos, but he's not going away. He's going to run for president again, and then he's going to be a part of a really big trial in the early 1900s, which we'll talk more in depth in class too. But for today, make sure you remember that the free silver movement really begins to push the government to create more of a fair system of its money. That will continue to be there up until the 1920s and 30s. And also understand that guys like William Jennings Bryan really kind of push the envelope of popular politics. People are really going to start to rally behind his cause, and his movement will grow even though the Populist Party will die away. Your homework, have 2 potential essay questions at the bottom of your notes. Also, any questions you have or comments, please add those to the margins of your notes so that way we can talk about them in class tomorrow. Other than that, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.